We have all been there, right? A major system change at work. It promises to make everything better, more efficient, but what it actually delivers is just chaos. It's a massive headache. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if you could actually navigate all that complexity with confidence? Well, let's break down exactly how to do that. So, let's get right to it. Why is this process so often a total struggle? A shiny new system promises a world of efficiency, but instead, we end up with weeks, sometimes even months, of pure frustration and chaos. It's a pain point that pretty much everyone can relate to. But here's the thing, it is absolutely avoidable.
And that's the good news, you know? That chaos, it's not inevitable. It really doesn't have to be that way. Today, we're going to build a better strategy, together. We're going to walk through a super clear framework that can help you turn that potential mess into a well-managed and genuinely successful transformation. Okay, before we can even think about finding a solution, we have to really, truly understand the problem. So our first section is all about digging into what I call transformation's inevitable hurdles. After all, you got to name the beast before you can tame it.
I mean, look at this list. It's like the greatest hits of project failures, isn't it? You've got scope creep, where the goalposts just keep moving. You've got budget overruns that make everyone's hair stand on end. Inadequate training that leaves people feeling lost and incompetent. And of course, the big ones, user resistance and just plain bad communication. These are the classic traps we need to see coming from a mile away. Now, this is really interesting. This slide splits the whole problem into two totally distinct fronts. Think of it like a battle. On one side, you have your technical roadblocks. You know, the system bugs, those data migration nightmares, the integration failures. But on the other, equally critical side, you have human resistance. And this is all about people's fear of the unknown, that anxiety of not being good at their job anymore, or even shifts in the office power dynamics. You absolutely cannot win this thing by only fighting on one front.
It can feel pretty overwhelming, can it? You've got technical fires popping up over here and all these people problems flaring up over there. It's so easy to just get paralyzed. So the big question is, where in the world do you even begin to untangle this mess?
And that brings us right to our next section, your strategic problem-solving toolkit. This is where we shift from just talking about the problem to actively and systematically solving it. You know, the real key here is to stop playing whack-a-mole and start using a structured process. This 4-step framework is your guide. Step 1, define the core problem, not just the symptoms you're seeing. Step 2, analyze the root causes. Ask why is this actually happening. Step 3, develop targeted solutions that go right after those root causes. And finally, step 4, and this is so crucial, implement but be ready to iterate. Be ready to adjust based on what's happening in the real world. So this whole strategy we're talking about, it's called change management planning. And it's not just about sending out a couple of update emails. It is a proactive, strategic process that's focused on 3 key things: preparing people, equipping people, and supporting people. If you get this right, you're building on solid ground. It's not some afterthought, it is the foundation. That focus on supporting individuals, well, that's the perfect lead-in to what is honestly the most critical part of any transformation: mastering change and communication. I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? You can have the most perfect, most beautiful technology in the entire world, but if people don't or won't use it, the project is a failure, period. Success hinges completely on getting that buy-in from your team. So how do you get people on board? This slide shows 2 very, very different paths. On the left, you have what I call top-down decrees. That's the whole, we're doing this, so get used to it approach. It's a one-way street and it just breeds resentment. But on the right, we have collaborative communication. This is a 2-way dialogue. It invites questions, it actually listens to feedback, and it builds a sense of shared ownership. And that's what leads to a much, much smoother adoption. And what does that collaborative communication actually look like? Well, this chart breaks it down perfectly. And look at that. The biggest piece of the pie, a whopping 35%, is transparency. Just being honest about the why, the how, and even the bumps in the road. Then you've got feedback loops and regular updates, which are all about keeping that 2-way conversation going. And finally, leadership alignment. Your team has to see that all the leaders are on the same page and are fully committed.
Okay, so we've covered the problems, we've opened up the strategic toolkit, and we've talked about the critical role of communication. Now, let's pull it all together in our final section, your transformation blueprint.
So, here's the crucial point. The ultimate goal here is to shift your entire mindset.
It's not about just gritting your teeth and struggling through another painful change. It's about moving from struggle to strategy. It's about taking control and proactively guiding this thing from start to finish.
So, what do you need to remember? Let's recap. First, always diagnose before you act. Get a handle on both the tech and the people problems. Second, adopt a structured process. Don't just react to everything. Third, and this might be the most important, prioritize your people. And finally, communicate collaboratively. That's how you build the trust you need to actually win.
And that brings us to our final slide. We've laid out the whole strategy. But real change always starts with a single step. And usually, that's a single conversation. So, I'll leave you with this question to really think about. What is the first conversation you need to have to move your project from struggle to strategy?